Wall Street's wild ride. Does the president have to rein in his talk of reining in the banks to stop the market's tumble? New clues versus Drew? Major developments in the case against Drew Peterson, the ex-policeman charged with his third wife's murder. Will these shocking new revelations be admissible at trial? We're talking exclusively to his attorney. Good night to tonight. Conan O'Brien tapes his very last Tonight Show.
We've had a lot of fun being here these last 7 months, but like everything in life, the fun has to come to an end a decade too early. And I think that...
So what's next for O'Brien and the late night wars? Louse of a spouse. John Edwards admits fathering a love child with Rielle Hunter. Tiger Woods reportedly in sex rehab. Governor Mark Sanford is embarrassed by a very public affair. Can men who cheat really ever change? The surprising answers ahead early this Saturday morning, January 23rd, 2010.
Took your challenge.
It is about to go down out here right now.
There was a warning that they better be loud.
I told them, get loud or get out. The kids responded.
Nobody wants to leave the early show.
They love taking orders this early in the morning. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the early show. I'm Chris Raggy.
And I'm Erica Hill. Great to have you with us this morning for a chock-full hour that we have coming up.
Yeah, how about a little winter fun? I mean, feels like winter finally. Last couple of weekends it's been a little bit mild, but we're back to the gloves and the scarf out here. So we have got some great winter fun items, from toboggans to sleds to some really, really great skates if you're, a skater.
Are you going to show us some stuff here?
Possibly.
A little triple axel, perhaps?
A little sow cow?
Oh, pardon me.
With a spin?
Our medal winner over here. We'll have more on that. He's going to need a little time to change into his outfit. Also ahead, we'll take a special look back. Last night's Hope for Haiti telethon, an incredible lineup of talent and of stars, all there for one reason, though, to help the people of Haiti. We'll take a look at that as well. First, though, we do want to see what is making news this Saturday morning. Jeff Glor is at the news desk. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Eric, I'm not doing the news, though, until Chris does the sow cow.
I can't hear you.
The kids are so loud, Jeff. We're sorry.
Good morning, guys.
If you're commenting on my skating, though, we're going to have a problem.
All right.
Chris, thanks. The curtain falling on the Tonight Show with Conan O'Brien.
Until this last show ends, we can pretty much do whatever we want, and NBC has to pay for it.
And then comes the what's next. So what is next for Conan, Jay, and Dave? The battle in the late night wars is coming up. Stay with us. You're watching The Early Show on CBS.
This weather segment sponsored by Ester C. This winter, support your immune system with Ester C, the better vitamin C.
This morning, The Tonight Show with Conan O'Brien is no more. His final curtain falling last night. CBS News correspondent Manny Gallegos is here with more on the end of Conan's 7-month run. It feels like this battle has lasted more than 7 months.
Yeah, it's been going on for a while. A little contentious, right, Erica? Well, Conan O'Brien said last night that walking away from NBC instead of accepting a demotion is the hardest thing he's ever had to do. He said every comedian dreams of hosting The Tonight Show, and at least he got to do it for 7 months.
We've had a lot of fun being here these last 7 months, but like everything in life, the fun has to come to an end a decade too early. And I think...
Conan O'Brien's brief stint as host of The Tonight Show ended last night with an A-list of stars and, of course, jokes at the expense of NBC.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have exactly 1 hour to steal every single item in this studio.
His exit interview was delivered by the star of The Office, Steve Carell.
Would you describe your experience here at NBC as positive, very positive, or extremely positive?
Yeah.
I am going to need your ID badge.
Oh, my ID. All right. Okay. No, this is just how it works.
He did put all kidding aside for a moment to pay tribute to the network where he spent more than 20 years.
This company has been my home for most of my adult life. Every comedian dreams of hosting The Tonight Show. And for 7 months, I got to do it. And I did it my way, with people I love. I do not regret 1 second. Nobody in life gets exactly what they thought they were going to get.
Future plans are uncertain, as Conan won't be free to return to television until September. O'Brien reportedly walks away with a $45 million severance package, including $12 million for his staff. That money is roughly what NBC would have paid to keep Conan's show going for the next 2 years. So I guess that helps.
It does help lessen the blow probably a little bit. Manny Guy, it's great to have you with us this morning. The battle for the Tonight Show may be over, but of course the battle for late night between Conan, Leno, and Letterman now, and the ramifications of this late night war will be felt for years to come. Here, the preview of what to expect next is Washington Post media critic Howard Kurtz. Great to have you with us as always.
Good morning, Erica.
First, I have to get your take on last night's show, the final Tonight Show with Conan O'Brien.
He went out with a touch of class. He said some nice things about NBC for a change. We've all been enjoying all of the comics beating up on NBC. And he walks away with a $32 million check in his pocket. But look, this was a high-profile flop for him after just 7 months. That's got to be humiliating for a performer, and it's going to be hard for him to climb back into the ring.
You mentioned a touch of class. It's interesting. There have been some things written, even in the New York Times yesterday, about how this has gotten really nasty, and all the comedians have gotten really nasty, yet there are so many people I talk to who say they have never been funnier. Is it good or bad?
Well, it's good for the viewers and it's good for people who write about television, but I think that, you know, Letterman really seems to still be mad at Jay Leno. Leno has taken some what I would call below-the-belt cracks at Dave's sex scandal. Conan obviously has also been throwing some hard punches. I think because this is real, because they're showing their emotions, because they're not just detached and talking about political figures, that there's a certain compelling aspect for all of us to watch, as well as it's kind of like a high school mudball fight.
It is just a little bit, or junior high school girls in some cases, trust me. Ultimately, though, is there a real winner here when it comes to this big battle that we've been covering?
I would say Jay Leno is the winner. I know he's gotten badly bruised, his nice guy image not quite intact, but he gets to go back to the Tonight Show, 11:30, where he was #1 for so many years. I think he will probably win back most of his audience, although some people may have developed habits of watching some of the competition. And Conan is certainly a winner financially, but you'd have to say he's a loser beyond that. And Letterman, I think, comes out looking fine, except that he has been #1 during this period when he's been competing against Conan. He has never beaten Jay consistently, and that may be hard for Dave once the competition returns.
A little pressure there on our own David Letterman here at CBS. What about the long-term future for Conan O'Brien? Can he move on somewhere else and make it work?
Possibly. Fox is the most likely place for him to land, and Fox can portray Conan as the hip comic who was too edgy for NBC, appeal to a younger audience. But look, if Conan O'Brien had trouble just beating David Letterman and Nightline, for him to go up against Jay and Dave and ABC's news program is going to be, they're going to be, you know, fighting over a smaller share of that pie. But on the other hand, Conan probably won a lot of fans in the last couple of weeks because he was perceived as having gotten pushed off the playground.
Are you going to miss talking about this at all?
I really am, and I'm really hoping we will find an excuse to keep this alive for many more months.
All right, we'll do some brainstorming in the break.
All right, sounds good.
Howard Kurtz, always a pleasure to have you with us. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Still ahead this morning, Tiger Woods reportedly in treatment for sex addiction. But can someone like Tiger Woods truly change their stripes? We'll ask our experts if once you're a cheater, always a cheater. Stay with us. This is The Early Show on CBS.